Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, day traders, cloud swing traders. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Hope you guys are feeling good. Hope you guys are ready to go. We got AJ and us. Good morning to you. Good morning to Albert, Amy, Anna, Andrew. Good morning to Bill, Cindy, Corey, Jeff. John is in the house. Good morning to Lauren, Martina, Natalie, Tim, all my people out in YouTube land. Sanjay, first one to comment in the YouTube chat. Congratulations to you. Throwing out a ticker already. Beautiful. We got M Sky. Good morning to you. All my lurkers in the background of YouTube. They're just not going to say nothing all day. It's okay. I still love you. Hit that like and subscribe button. And let's see where we are on the SPY. Let's try to dissect this one. So Friday, a little bit of a chaotic day. We got down into a level I was looking to hold was probably somewhere around the 585 zone. We got a little bit lower than that. Next level, 584. I think the low of the day for Friday was somewhere around 583.34. So kind of in between those two, but hung in there. Bulls came back, fought hard. We talked about the what looked to me like a little bit of just option expiration manipulation, trying to keep this thing under 590. Then not a great open yesterday. We had a whole bunch of resistance, all of that. I am looking for some support for today. So if we get a pullback, well, the first one we're opening pretty much at our support resistance that got built in from yesterday. So that's somewhere right around 591.82-ish. Looks like we're maybe a few pennies above it. Let's see if we get a more accurate price. Yeah, 591.82. So slightly above that. We'll see if that holds. To the higher side, the next spot I'm looking for is 592.75. So not a lot of room to the higher side if we can't break through that. But this is from yesterday's close, from looks like that Thursday the 29th. We've been there twice now. We've been there three times actually from looks like we have another day, May 28th, that we were up there. And then obviously we also know that we were just cruising pre-market and after hours that one day all above like we were 599. So after hours pre-market will tell us we got higher than all of these already. I think it's easier to break through. It's not easy, but it's easier to break through. The more times we kind of bang our heads on it. And then the next level I got is 593.45, and then a big one, 594.14. If we can see a day close above 594.14, let us get some open action in the markets. Let's get a close above that. So this way it pops up on my chart without extended hours. And that would be a very, very good sign for the overall markets to see if there's more continuation. Otherwise, if we end up breaking the support from yesterday, which is that 591.86 zone, that should take us back into 590.42, and then looking for a really, really strong support somewhere around 589.73. So support not that far away, but it's a little further away than the next resistance is. So bulls do have a little bit of work to do. After hours, we were still kind of running, and then we just kind of gave it back roughly around, I don't know, 6, 7 o'clock when futures started opening up last night. But still looks pretty healthy. I think we're still looking to just buy dips. If we see a noticeable breakdown at this point, this is where you'd have to be concerned if we get some kind of really big breakdown from a news event overnight or something crazy. If we start really gapping, I think under this level, which is roughly at 584, then you do have that double top lower highs, and that could set us back. For right now, it's not there. It's just something to keep an eye out for. Everything else looks like the Bulls full in control, and that's the way I'm going to look to trade today. See if there's any dips, any interesting stocks that look like we have some kind of a good breakout. And we're just going to try to ride some momentum trains today. Other than that, Q's, really good close. Fantastic close for Q's. Again, does it mean that we just open and run? We could see a little pullback, and maybe this has happened already pre-market. Look for somewhere around 520.50 to be probably actually a little higher than that, but 520.96 to 520.50, somewhere in that range to be support. If we get some kind of a drastic drop at open, if we don't just open and just keep on cruising higher from here. The only other thing I really have on my chart for Qs is the opening price of this candle. And obviously, this is the same day that we were much, much higher, but at least this is where we opened 526.50. So I don't think it's a huge level, but it is a level. And we've really don't have anything else. Yeah, that's going to give us the resistance from all the way back here. anything past that, the next level 532.73 and then 535.96. So a lot of room, same thing. The only thing with this one is at least it's still higher highs on the queue, so even if you get that drop, it still could be a little double top-esque, but I don't think it's going to be as crazy. And that's a we probably need a black swan at this point to get to some kind of a crazy drop in the markets. Bitcoin. So Bitcoin is still hanging out. Now we're in a 4 day just sideways chop, 5 day sideways chop period. Looks like that big resistance on this one. If we could clear 106,009 for today, today, tomorrow, sometime in the future, if we get some closing back above it, that would be, I think, a fantastic close. That would take us up to like 107.67. But I think starting to push us higher at that point. Otherwise, we're just kind of hanging out, nothing really going on too crazy in Bitcoin world, which makes sense. We have to pause a little bit, let some of those moving averages continue to climb. I know everybody in the Bitcoin world and plus anybody that buys any stock ever just wants it to go to $1 million overnight. And unfortunately, it could get to 1 million, but just maybe not on the same time frame. All right, first ticker I saw come in is NVTS. Let's see if I can figure out how to type real quick. There we go. Yes, so I think it was still playing momentum off that gap from May 22nd on this one. This that's a powerful gap. Anything above $5.26 looks good. I think we pulled this one up yesterday. This chart looks familiar, or either that or there's another company that looks pretty similar to this one. But all we really did on this pullback, again, this is probably a pretty powerful candle. More so the gap. So good gap, one side, 1 day resting, big breakout, and then you just have 1, 2, 3 days resting, bullish engulfing candle yesterday. I think it looks primed to go for a day trade basis. Maybe. It is a lower stock. Does not mean momentum cannot come in. Obviously, you can see some pretty wide days on this one. Uh, Watch for 577. If you start to break that out, then maybe there's a play to 645. What I would rather see, and I think what would make it a better move. This is a retest gap opening at resistance. I'd see if you can be patient on this one. See if this one drops to like 535 first. Somewhere in that zone, at least to the high end of that candle, 552. But the closer you can get, I think, to 535 is a better opportunity. This looks like a good S curve location, and then we might see this one pushing higher. So let me get this one on my actual watch list. It's not one that I look at a lot, or I think probably yesterday if somebody mentioned it. Otherwise, good looking, interesting candle. We'll see if we get that one higher. Again, I don't know for a day trade, but for a swing trade, that might be decent. And maybe a day trade. We'll see how that sets up. But I feel like we're gonna have to have a little tighter spread on it. Hood, unless we're expecting a dollar move on it on a $5 stock, which is massive today. It's possible. Robinhood. So we had a good day trade on this one yesterday. Looks like it is well above where our 2 hour target was set for. I think we snaked out somewhere close to like what 1.4, something like that. But it is looking still healthy. Again, just it's up there. It's probably 2 days of buying in a row. Yeah, the only thing that makes this difficult for me to want to short is the crazy momentum coming into this one. However, retest gap, I would not be shocked if we get some kind of a pullback. Doesn't have to be right at the open, but I think this is a gap that does fill. 67.77 would be an interesting spot to play it long if you're going to try to get back in. Maybe we open and we just rip from here, but SPY is into a little resistance. Hood has had a good run. You do have a retest gap. I'd see if you get a little selling pressure. Even a high wave candle, maybe. But I don't know if I want to play the high wave candle in this one. It would have to be a big, massive move, and then your entire spread gets kind of tough to play. So I'd probably hang out on Hood for today. If you're in it, it still looks good. But if you're going from a good open and it just starts selling, I wouldn't panic yet. I think that's just part of the game. Let's see. Tim says, "Did anyone hold for 2 hours?" Yeah, if you held for 2 hours, somebody in the Slack was posting they were trying to hold it for the two, and I didn't want to sit through that pullback. After we got that break, we were just running into resistance, so I was trying to move my stop as high as possible. But yeah, somewhere toward the end of the day, I think it would have hit probably right around 3 o'clock yesterday. So if you had more courage to sit through it, you got rewarded, which is fantastic. Tim, you got that one nice. Let's see, we got hymns. Hymns, believe are they're buying a Europe company, I believe. Usually, when that happens, a company goes down, but not Hims. Uh-uh. Hims is different. Hims, it doesn't matter what they do. They could announce good news, bad news, or no news, and it looks like momentum is just absolutely insane. And you're getting a gap up when they're looking to spend money. Again, usually when a company buys another company, they go down, not Hims. So you do have a gap up. It is a gap and go. Technically, if you're just looking at yesterday's candle, you're going from red candle to green. Maybe you're trapping some people. I don't know how powerful of a gap this is for a gap and go, especially with resistance right above us. I think this is probably more profit taking, people rebalancing. I think you probably had some people get in relatively close to the lows of the day yesterday. That would be a good spot to do so. Probably I would have waited a little more, but it's Hims. It's not going to get to the lower targets. This is 55.28 is where I would have been kind of looking, but this is a good spot too. Somewhere around 55.79, just kind of retesting into that. And you probably have those bulls being paid out today at open. I think this is probably more of a retest gap. And then I think if you're long, maybe get to 56.68. Otherwise, some of these bulls might start to jump in somewhere around 57.82 and just try to continue that long. But that is a big resistance above us, so I wouldn't go bullish for me personally, unless you start cruising. If you start getting above 62.38, you might have a shot for 65.54, something in that range. Let's see, which ones did I miss? CrowdStrike, CRWD. Uh, CrowdStrike is. Oh, you're saying Nvidia invested in NVTS? I thought that was a while ago, though. That gap was only like 4 or 5 days ago. At least I think I heard rumors about that a while ago. But my days they just blend together, so maybe not. CrowdStrike is $479. That just yeah. So hopefully we have another data breach, and that will give you guys buying opportunities to get back in at 210. So from the panic data breach, you guys are up almost 100%. 210. Yeah, you're more than 100% since that. Buying the dip seems to be a good strategy. CrowdStrike for today. Nothing too crazy. Really nice close though. I think it looks like it wants to go higher. There's nothing stopping you from up here. We're at all-time highs. But again, probably at the high end of the range. See if there's a little pullback first. It's very tough to I just don't want to admit that I was the guy buying at the top at worst case situation. So maybe if it wants to come down a little bit, 474.84, and then that might give you a better spot. But momentum looks bullish. I got nothing holding us back. I think it looks good to go. To continue, I wouldn't go short yet. DLTR Dollar Tree. It's crazy that they could sell trees for just $1. What's the news on this one? They have earnings coming out soon. So they maintained a buy rating for Dollar Tree and raised price target to $100 per share, up from previous targets, so a little bit of a upgrade. If you follow upgrades, and I would say do it cautiously, but if you follow upgrades, that gives you another $5 higher. Doesn't have to happen today. That is a good retest. Uh, it is a retest gap, and it is kind of running. It's not crazy volume. But you do have some volume above us. There's nothing below us. I think on this gap up, it's easier for it to fall than it is to move higher. So this is a pretty nice gap up. You are closing a gap from August 28th, so that's probably somebody's targets. I think a quick short on this one. This one is the one I would look to probably play a fade on. That is a lot of buying into it. Really, if that is the upgrade you're going by, you're hanging in there for an extra $5. I don't, to me, it's not worth it. But if it comes back down lower, probably targets on this one, 91.40. Might have some buyers sitting there. I don't really have much else holding this up. So I'd probably look to play the fade. Lydia says it's not even $1 anymore, so disappointing. Yeah, just that is they're just waiting for a lawsuit for false advertising at this point. Yeah, nothing's a dollar. Maybe the bag. I think they started charging for the bags at Dollar Tree. Maybe you could get the bag so you don't have to carry all your products out by hugging them in your arms, but you have to pay $1 for the bag, I think. Maybe. I don't know. We got pins, PINS. Pins. I like that location a lot. If you are a bear in pins, you better be shorting the the living. I don't know how to finish that sentence and keep it family show, so I'm just gonna stop. But this is a spot they have to hold on to on pins. This is a retest gap, 2 days of buying, really, really good gap up. But this location on open, I think this is one that does not fade. I think it goes higher, and I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I'm gonna be looking for a high wave candle on this one. I'm gonna see if I can go long. We have plenty of room to the higher side. The biggest troubling thing, and I think we do get some kind of mini pullback at least, because this is a retest gap. You do have people profitable, but that retest might only take us into like $33. The next mini target is 33.27. We've been there 4 days in a row from back here. That's easy to break through. You are trapping some additional shorts. I think this looks fantastic. 34.05 would be my target, so we'll see if there's a lot of room into that. Otherwise, the immediate target, and again, this one is one that has also been hit before. This is 33.56. Probably one of my favorite gaps. We might have to be patient on it. We'll see. I want to see a really good candle, specifically a high wave on this one, and I think it's got some room to run. If this doesn't work, if this thing just ends up fading, I mean, you have 3 bar reversal down here. I think there's a ton of buyers looking to see if this thing comes back to 31.94. I think it's just too good of a gap where today we could probably hit at least a 1.2 to the higher side. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Short the living daylights out of it. That's a good one. Yeah. I couldn't think of that one on the spot, so this is why we have a team. Yeah, my version was going to be way different. So, yeah, daylight. We'll go with that one. We got XYZ. Uh, nice little gap up. This one's is a retest gap. You are above the 100. That is pretty good. This one's a little bit too close to the resistance for me. So while it probably can go a little bit higher, I'm looking for like 64.31, and then an absolute beast of a target would be 65.22. Probably some resistance there. I think this one probably fades first. This is 62.58 to the downside. Maybe you start squeezing into like the 62.25, but not too much room on either side of this one. Really good gap, I think, going forward. Also looks a little inverted head and shoulders. So for a swing trade perspective, again, the lower you could buy it, the better. But that looks good for a swing trade for today. I'd probably want to be a little patient. Watch this market open and these things just run. There's no pullbacks, but sometimes the what I want doesn't really happen. It says it takes a village. Uh-huh. That it does. All right, we got Boeing BA. Boeing. Um, that looks really fantastic too. The only thing that I really don't like on this stock is the stock itself. Besides that, the chart looks actually really good. 1, 2, 3 green days in a row. Maybe we get some buying. I mean, maybe we get some little bit of selling. Not much really holding us back at this point. I think Boeing is a fantastic high wave opportunity if we could get one, or a buy the dip opportunity. That's going fairly high on that list. Let's see. In terms of volume, maybe The next target is like 215.43. That already gives us $2 to the higher side, and then I think more or less in the range of like 217.90 is very plausible for today. I guess the closest I could get to like 211.72, but I'll take a high wave candle on it. That looks pretty interesting as well. I like it. All right, V for Joe. Um, well, you got your high wave candle, then one, two, three, four, five green candles in a row. That's a lot of buying into a potential double top. You're at a really, really good resistance. We've been past it before. Maybe we get through it, but first resistance at least 364.92. Then I'm looking at like 366.57 and then 367.68. So a couple of resistance up there. There's probably a little bit of room. That much buying and potential run into a double top. I'd be careful on this one. I wouldn't be as excited as some of the other nonsense companies like Boeing and pins, which I don't know. You pin a picture and people, yeah, pin a picture. I'm going to save this for later. When are you going to look at it? Probably never. But yeah, I would be cautious. It looks good in terms of the bull move. My in a longer term aspect though, be careful too. This looks like a one, two. This looks like a three, four, five. So we might be heading toward the end of the run somewhere, and we're approaching a double top. So just be a little careful on that one. I'd probably look to sell some covered calls if you have some shares, just in case. XYZ, I think we just looked at that one. Yeah. Yeah, Frank, you just joined us. We just looked at this one, and it looks good. Yeah, we definitely looked at this one. Yeah, the only thing with this one, it looks good. I'm a little concerned about the resistance from over here, 64.84, and then you got like 65.44-ish, and then to the support side of things, 62.15. So a little too tight of a spread for me. Really, if we start climbing above the 65.27, we still have that 200, but that would at least give us probably a little bit more runway. So, on dips, I kind of like it. Probably more for a swing than a day trade for today, for me at least. All right. Bijal says, "Good morning. I am late." That's crazy because I did take attendance. I did take attendance. I was like, "Where is Bijal?" Boeing, yeah, we just looked at Boeing as well. All right, you guys are just repeating tickers on me now. Just you guys are on. There's a repeat, beat and repeat. Lydia says the real question is, did you get a hall pass? That's true. Yeah, we have very strict rules around here. Uh-huh. Detention for everybody that is late today. We got Tessie. Tessie made a good pop. I'm not sure what the news was, if there was any. Well, somebody let me know if there was, but just pre-market right before I hopped on, they just started taking off. The only thing I saw was, and I didn't look too much into it, is the fact that it looks like there's at least some report floating around that says Trump is looking to delay tariffs until like August 31st or something on China, but certain sectors, maybe Tesla qualifies under that. Natalie's got a headline that probably makes more sense. Yep. Tesla leases space in Mumbai's Lodha Logistics Park, expanding India footprint. Okay, so that one makes a little bit more sense than what I saw. So we'll go with that one. On a technical basis, you still have a good double bottom. I don't really love where we closed the VPOC yesterday. Higher volume to the downside, but with this move, we even closed the stock a little bit higher, so that's good. And then you have some resistance coming in. Probably 347.38 and 347.98. And then the big one on this one, actually the big one is probably 351. So you have some room to the higher side, but we're sitting into a little resistance now. I probably want to see a little pullback on this one at open. At least into like the 343.94 zone. I think that gives us a better opportunity to set like a good day trade up, better risk reward, and then targets probably up to that 351. So I would like to see a little pullback on this one. We'll see how it opens. There's not really any real resistance yet, but if we go a little higher, I'd start to get a little concerned around this 347 mark, 347.53. So we will see. But Lodha Park, beautiful place. They have good fountains. It's nice. CRWV. I have no idea where the park is. It sounds fun though. We got CoreWeave has just been absolutely one of the big stories of 2025. Crazy breakout, crazy run up. Momentum is all in the Bulls' favor, and this is a fantastic looking gap as well. I don't want to go short. Would like to see a little pullback on this one down to 120.34, but you are now opening above every single potential red candle except for the wick of this one from 3 days ago, Thursday. So maybe we get a little pullback. It is a retest gap. Still technically inside this candle, closest to 120.34. I think sets you up the best for that one. APLD. Let's check this one. This monstrosity of a day we had yesterday. Uh, it is into a little resistance. Not a bad open though. And again, this is a moment you're going to be playing momentum on this one. So if you could get it close, if it pulls back to 1035, about 1030, that'd be a cool price to get. Other than that, and well, I guess if we open somewhere above, it depends on when this one opens. If we open above 1075, the next spot up is 1081. Maybe momentum just carries us right through that, and then I got nothing but a good time above us. So plenty of room on this, but that's a massive day yesterday. Usually, again, once you have those massive days, the next day is kind of a little bit more muted. We'll see if that is the case today. Um, but for right now, close as possible to 1031. Even at 1031, you don't have great risk reward. Your actual stop on this thing is somewhere around $6.67. That's wide. So I would want to see a pullback. I'd like to see a few days of consolidation, something I can get a better setup on, but momentum might step into this one and just kind of push it. Um, try to buy low. Neo on earnings. So yeah, Neo had earnings, not fantastic. They were not that great. The only light that they had in the entire earnings, I think their cars they produced went up like they delivered 40% higher in cars. So I think that was the highlight of the report. Otherwise, they're still losing money. So not great there. They lost 73 million. But the idea is if you are a long-term investor, if they are able to continue the growth and produce more and more cars, eventually you're looking for that to kind of turn around. I don't think that's yet, but retest gap, you are opening to a little, you have support a little bit lower. See if this one drops down to like 329, see if we could hold that. Other than that, that is the morning bell. So make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button in YouTube land.